Today I am making roast in the crock pot, and tucked all around it and underneath of it are these little potatoes. These I found at Walmart. I don't have to peel them, I don't have to cut them. They're the perfect size to fit into my crock pot. My roast is a little bit frozen, but because I'm making it in the crock pot, it'll be thawed out well before it's ready to eat tonight. What I do is I start out with about 7 beef bouillon cubes. I put those in 4 cups of water. I think I'm going to add more water than 4 cups, probably about 5 or so, depending on how full my crock pot is once I dump this into it. And then I take the Snyder's prime rib and roast seasoning and I add a little bit of that to the water. And then I pour that everything over the top of the potatoes and the meat. And then I am adding the little tiny baby carrots. Those I find at Walmart as well. Then I add the onions, and now I'm gonna add more of the prime rib and roast seasoning. I end up making a gravy out of the beef broth, and this looks like a lot of seasoning, but it isn't once it's done. This is what flavors the gravy, and oh man, it is a delicious dinner. Now I'm going to put this on low for 6 to 8 hours. Tonight for dinner I am making nachos, and we are kind of mixing it up a little bit from beef nachos and decided to do chicken nachos. And I'm using this chicken taco seasoning. I get it at Walmart. You put about a half a cup of water into it and it bumps up that chicken flavor. It's really good. I also have some Fiesta nacho cheese. It's by Campbell's. It's in a can. It's a soup. I add about a half a cup of milk to it. And in the back I have refried beans. I like this traditional refried beans by Old El Paso. I get this at Walmart and it just comes in a can. Really good. Adds good flavor to your nachos. And of course we have all the goodies to go on top of nachos. Tonight I am making lasagna. And for the hamburger, I season it with salt, pepper, a little bit of Lowry salt, and some chopped minced garlic. You can layer your lasagna, or you can do what I do, and I put the spaghetti sauce in a bowl, add the cooked hamburger, and then we either do cottage cheese or ricotta, and this time we are going to do cottage cheese. And then we mix it all together, and that saves you a few steps of layering. The first thing I do is spray the pan with some cooking spray so hopefully nothing sticks. And then I put a layer of the sauce on the bottom. And then I start layering the pasta with the sauce, and these oven-ready lasagna noodles are the best. I have been using them for years. It saves another step, and you do not have to boil them. You just lay them in the pan, put your sauce over the top, and bake everything together. For the final touch of my lasagna, I always add some grated Parmesan cheese to the top, and then I'm going to put it in the oven on 350 and bake it for an hour. We are going to serve salad on the side with this, and that is dinner. For tonight's dinner, I am making smothered chicken, but first, I am going to pour me and Jason each a cup of coffee so we can sip on this while we're prepping it, because this meal goes in the crock pot. It's morning and we're tired. To start this recipe, you are going to take bacon, you're going to cut it into 1-inch pieces, and you are going to fry it up. You're going to remove the bacon from the pan. You're going to reserve about, it says about 2 tablespoons of the bacon grease. I don't even know if I have that in the pan, so I'm just going to use what's there. And then to the bacon grease, we are going to add onion. They say 2 onions. We're going to add a little bit of the sweet onion and a little bit of red onion. We're going to cook this up in that grease. In the crock pot, I have placed probably about 10 really little chicken breasts. The recipe actually calls for 8 bone-in skinless chicken thighs. But I had chicken breast here, so that's what we're going to use. Either one is perfectly fine. To the chicken in the crock pot, I added a little bit of Lawry's, some pepper, and some salt. You're going to start adding a little bit of the flour, which is a 1/3 cup of flour, some pepper, and a little bit of the bacon back to the pan. You're going to take 1 1/4 cup of chicken broth. This is 1. And you're going to start whisking it in. Then you're going to add the onion mixture on top of the chicken. I have my crock pot on so that when the hot mixture meets the pan, it's not going to crack it or do anything like that. Then you're going to cook it like this for 4 to 5 hours on low. I'm actually going to cook ours for 6 hours on low because our chicken is still frozen. After you've cooked the chicken, the recipe says that they want you to remove the chicken from the crock pot and then add in this Philadelphia cream cheese. It is a garlic and herb cream cheese. But what I like to do is leave the chicken in the pot. The last about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, I add the cream in there and then let the chicken cook in the cream, and it just seems to flavor it a little bit better. We serve ours over noodles. Justin eats his over rice. And then at the very end, you just top it with the other half of the bacon. This is a very delicious meal. It's easy and hardly any cooking to it. The recipe is below.